Yep. Hello, my name is Shantel Chee. Chee preferred. My pronouns are she, her, and I attend the Institute of American Indian Arts, and I'm getting my bachelor's in creative writing, my associate's in studio arts, my certificate in broadcast journalism. I have been residing in Santa Fe, New Mexico for about 6 years and finally graduating this upcoming May of 2023. So I did a presentation, or I am going to do a presentation about wild parsley where I'm from. I'm from Rock Point, Arizona, and I am Navajo, and this is my presentation about wild parsley. Oops. Oh, wild parsley in Rock Point, Arizona. So on your right, it shows a photo of how wild parsley is collected at home. So wild parsley grows between 3 to 6 inches in red soft sand. The root tastes sweet enough that it has carbohydrates for energy. They are they're in season right now. Recently, they are arriving earlier than usual. So since the whole climate has changed a lot, parsley has been rooting a little bit quicker than usual. So that's why I decided to do wild parsley, just because they usually last for a while through the summer before it gets too hot. But currently right now it is blooming too fast and it is like in the area, but sometimes there's none. So yeah. Where I go to pick up wild parsley, this is an area from the satellite on the far right. You could see a windmill on the left picture and a yellow arrow going towards north. So we usually pick up parsley during the north. So on your right side, it has a square of where the north side we pick up wild parsley. So all the parsley is mostly grown near the windmill just because water is just available right there, but also it's like kind of in a canyon where wild parsley grow in my area. With the sand, you can see how much sand and how much rocks they grow through. So that's where we pick our wild parsley. Um, this next slide is a little book I created about wild parsley. So it's called A Yummy Stew. A yummy stew is a representation of back home. We have dumpling stew, corn stew, vegetable stew, and we always add wild parsley to any one of them because it's really good with the stew. So traditionally, it just really makes you feel good after eating it with fiber and everything else. So here's a little story I wrote about it. A Yummy Stew by me. Wild parsley is a halehe. That's how we say in Navajo. A plant that tastes so good with traditional food, gives you energy on hot summer days, grows about 4 to 6 inches. And these drawings are all by me and everything else in this book. Many wild parsley grow near the windmill. This is home, this is the windmill and the rocks. Pick as many as you can. So we have an image that shows you picking up parsley. Wow, the bag is almost full. Good job. So I put a representation of bluebird flower because that's how once we pick, we put in a bluebird flower just because it gives it air a little and it's still fresh. Wash, clean, and dry now. Once you pick up your parsley, you just lay it flat on the bluebird flower or any flat surface and let it dry for a few days so that the minerals and everything else could stay inside the parsley. When it's due time, then it'll evaporate from there. Make sure you have everything. So this is a time to make dumpling stew. So we have wild parsley that you pick, a pot, meat, and flour, and everything together. You mix everything together in the pot. Now you have a yummy stew. So you have your Pepsi, your stew, and your fry bread. So that's the end of my story, my little children's storybook. Um This is the next photo of myself, but where I'm coming from on the right. It shows the canyon and where I live. On the left, it shows another windmill, but not currently in the area, but it's in T's Nest Bus, another windmill. So I thought it was so beautiful with the clouds and the light. So yeah. Effects happening in wild parsley. Um Not a lot of wild parsley is growing due to livestock or not enough moisture. Um, a lot of livestock has been growing because we live in the middle of nowhere, but also it's causing a lot of drought and a lot of these plants and wild parsley hard to regrow back because the moisture is not enough. Monsoon season doesn't really do enough for us. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it really depends how Mother Earth wants to fill and give us as much as moisture as she can. Um, there are less inches, half the size. I really agree with this. Usually parsley are really grown a little bit longer, but this time they're a little bit shorter than usual, which is kind of interesting because um they are half the size and they shouldn't be the half the size by the time like right now they're probably still like an inch or 2 inch right now when in reality it should be a little bit longer still. Hard to find near the windmill. That is true still. The windmill only provides a few of the plants still, but parsley is one of them just because of livestock. Like I said, since livestock like to go to the windmill and drink water, and they like to snack on whatever plant they could before they head back home. Heat has been hotter and windy, so back home we don't have um sand that sticks to the ground. We have sand that just blows up in the air. And that red sand just likes to like to cover all these other plants because it's just so much red sand in the area that it blows further and further towards the north and it just messes up everything else. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.